Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself Thin podcast. Today we're talking about the weight loss fairy tale, which is that you're going to lose all the weight and live happily ever after. You've got to wake up from this. It's not true. I hate to tell you. Yes, things can be a lot better when you lose the weight, but not everything is magically perfect. And the sooner you realize that, the better. Because if you think just losing the weight is going to make everything in your life magically perfect, you're putting way too much pressure on that weight loss. And deep down, you know that's not true because there's a good chance that you have been at your goal weight and you have lost weight in the past and then put it on. So part of you does not believe that. I hate to tell you, it's exciting to lose weight. There's a lot of good things about it, but it does not fix everything. And if you believe it does, if you're under this false impression that just losing the weight is going to fix everything in your life, then you're going to be sorry. And it's not your fault if you think this. Okay. The diet industry is literally drum this into your head your whole life that just losing the weight is going to fix everything. And it's just not true. So now that you're discouraged and frustrated, demotivated, what is true? Or how do we get ourselves fired up about it? Because as I said, there's a lot of great parts about it, right? You feel better physically, mentally, emotionally. You have more energy, you're happier, you're stronger. All these wonderful things happen, but there's still challenges. And when you realize this, you start to put your weight loss in its right place, meaning that you start to see your weight loss and your health as something you create so that you can improve all the other areas of your life. But the weight loss in of itself doesn't make that happen. So another way to put this is that your weight loss is a means to an end. And again, it's very similar in the sense to money, right? Just having a bunch of money doesn't fix your life. It makes certain things easier and it sets you up to be able to improve other areas. But the money in and of itself doesn't fix everything. Just like the weight loss in of itself does not fix everything. And so the sooner you realize that the weight becomes a way that you're in a better position, a better version of yourself to fix the other areas of your life, I think you start to see things more accurately. And when you see things more accurately, you're usually better off, because when you see things like a fairy tale that's not true, part of you doesn't believe it. And your motivation is going to be lower than it can be, than when you're actually accurate and specific about what it is you're trying to accomplish. So hope this helps you out. If you want to go deeper into this process, click the link in my bio, go get the hypnosis session, watch the video I made. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. But here we are on a Wednesday, April 16th, day after tax day. So you got your taxes in. But yeah, a lot of people thinking about weight loss now, right? It's that time of year where the next month is usually one of the biggest months, the next 30 days, where the summer feels like it's approaching. And people will do it. What's up, Jen? Jen says, good afternoon, Jim. I have trouble catching these lives from the start. I have to keep refreshing YouTube. Any advice? Oh, trouble catching these lives from the start. I have to keep refreshing YouTube. Oh, well, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to fix that. I've been a little bit off in terms of when I start. Someone literally wrote that on YouTube yesterday, and I thought it was a great idea to have like a community session where I said where I'm going to go live. And I guess I should do that because I like to get live. I mean, I like to say noon, but I got to be honest, I rarely get here for noon. I'm usually somewhere between noon and 12:30. Today I'm super late. But yeah, it would be good if I just start at a specific time. I just commit to noon. If I say noon, right, then I don't have to write that anywhere. So yeah, no advice other than for me to just get here on time. I should be able to do noon. I did it for a while. I was getting pretty good with noon, and then got a little lackadaisical with it. But maybe I'll just start recommitting to noon. Oh, look at that, Jody, with the solution. You can have a notification sent to you through YouTube. There you go. Yeah, noon. I got to do noon. Noon I'm going to do. I'm going to do it too. I've been saying this stuff. There's a lot of things in my life winding down, I should say, and freeing up some time and energy. And that actually is part of what impacted me not being here at noon. So a lot of those things are kind of settling down, but the other piece is just committing to it. So if I committed to it, I can be here for noon. I can do that. So here we go. Noon o'clock. I'm going to double down my commitment to noon o'clock because it'd just be better for everyone. So noon. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I've done it before. I can do it again. Noon or bust. So there you go. Set your timers. Noon o'clock. I'll be here. Yeah. A lot of cool stuff happening though. So much cool stuff happening. I'm so excited. A bunch of things on all fronts, so I should say 12:15 to give yourself a buffer. You're right, Jen. I should say that. But then, I'm not going to lie. This is one of my personal quirks. Can we call it a quirk? Some people don't like when I call my lateness a quirk. They get very mad. But it is true. Sometimes in my life I've been late and it's something I deal with. But yeah, just got to make the commitment. I can do it. I'm usually sitting right here, so it's not like it's a hard thing to do. You're just working on other stuff. But anyways, I'm going to get here at noon. I'm saying noon. Forget it. Noon's the time. That's when I'll be here. But yeah. Yeah, redo and rehearse. Exactly, Jody. I know. But yeah, one of the things I was going to say, even just getting here, I will definitely say some of the reason I've been a little late the last week or two is I have some other things I've been working on, but what was it? There was something about the podcast to put me in a mood. Oh, you know what it was? I will tell you this. 2 weeks ago, I think, somewhere around there, they're like, okay, TikTok's banned. They were getting rid of TikTok again. Then they extended it. But so for a day or two, I was like, oh, they're getting rid of TikTok. I don't even know. What am I doing here? And then I start just thinking about the podcast. I'm like, do I want to keep doing this live every day? Are there other things I can do? My whole business model is kind of shifting a little bit in terms of what I'm doing. So I've just started advertising a lot more. And it's just a shift. And I'm like, geez, I'm going to have a lot of material available to help people. I'm like, do I really need to do a live podcast every day to help people? There's other ways to do it. And I think that got in my head. As you can see, am I 100%? I don't know if I'm 100% one way or the other yet. It's a lot of time. I say it's every day. It's a lot of time. An hour and a half every day is a lot of time. And so anyways, when I first said, hey, geez, what would it be like if I didn't have this commitment every day? And I was like, oh. But then I love doing it too. But I am going to change up the way I do it a little bit as I move forward. But the first thing I'm going to do to change it up is to get here at noon o'clock. But one of the other things that's going to affect it is I do have this app, which I'm finally going to commit to. It is what it is for now. Nothing's perfect in life. And the app is going to be available for everyone. So even if you're just a fan of the podcast, you're not on the program or anything, you'll be able to use this app. And there'll be a bunch of free stuff in there. I'll be posting the podcast episodes in there. But the podcast episodes are going to transform a little bit. Because I am going to keep doing them. But I'm going to do them a little bit differently, I believe. So, anyways, that's how that's going. But yeah, if anyone's got any questions about weight, feel free to ask them. That's one thing that's going to change. I'm going to have an opportunity for you all to be able to ask questions outside of these live calls. Aim Bear, how's it going? Out in Ireland, right? Because EI in Ireland is A. Am I right? Do I remember that? Did I dream that? Am I wrong? Sometimes you think you know something, you're completely wrong. And then sometimes you think you know something and you're right. And you don't know how the hell you know it, how you remembered it. Yay, Ireland. All right. Are you doing good? I'm doing good too. Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah. Been a crazy week so far, but a good week. And a good week because lots of things are kind of just getting settled. So that's always good. So like those things. Gentle Monsters. So I lost around 50 pounds, but in the recent weeks, I feel super demotivated to eat clean and I'm snacking. Well, great job, Gentle Monster. 50 pounds is no small feat. Congratulations. Yeah, the demotivation. Oh boy. I don't know what your total goal weight is. So that would be my first question to you. Like, you've lost 50 pounds. Do you want to lose 10 more? Do you want to lose 50 more? Are you right where you want to be? That's the first question, because that's probably going to be important to figuring out why you feel so demotivated. But it's very normal. I mean, regularly people lose a significant amount of weight, whether it's complete to their goal weight or close to it. And then all of a sudden their motivation completely disappears. And there's a lot of reasons for this, but to keep it specific to you, I'd love to know if you're at your goal weight, close to it, or still have a ways to go. But nice job doing what you've done so far, But I'm just going to be honest. I mean, the way you've probably done it is probably also feels kind of extreme and overwhelming and unsustainable. So knowing where you're at in the process is important for me to keep going with it. But one thing I can almost guarantee is that the way you've lost the 50 pounds is probably fairly intense. And now you're struggling to maintain that level of intensity. And I only say that because you're probably have the mindset of a dieter. Most people do. And the mindset of a dieter creates these problems. So anyways, need to lose the last 15 pounds. All right. Yeah. Okay. So you got 15 more pounds to lose. So you lost 50 pounds. You want to lose 65 total. You lost 50 pounds so far. You got 15 more to go. The way I will frame this, now again, I do not know Gentle Monster at all. So I'm assuming a lot of stuff here, but let's see if I'm anywhere close. Sometimes when I see, now, if you give me the time too, that would be helpful. Like, how long does it take you to lose 50 pounds? That'd be good. And how long have you been at 50 pounds? Are you at a plateau now? That could be part of it. But usually when we get, because the way I look at that, if you're 50 pounds down out of a 65-pound weight loss, I look at it as basically you're 80% of the way there, right? So we look at the goal of 65 and you're 80% of the way there, which means you're closing in on the finish line. Now, a lot of times people get very demotivated the last 20% of the way to their goal weight. Now, why is that? I will tell you. Because what happens is most people trade the pleasure of the food for the pleasure and excitement of the scale going down. And on some level, they know this. And as they start to approach their goal weight, they actually start to get really nervous because they say, what the fuck? What am I going to do once I get to my goal weight? What do I do once I'm there? What do you look forward to once you're at your goal weight? He said, well, I just look forward to every day, Jim. Every day is going to be amazing. Well, look up hedonic adaptation. Unfortunately, you'll get to your goal weight and it'll be amazing for a month or two. And then you're going to habituate to it and it's going to feel like your body and it's going to feel normal. It's not going to be as exciting. And now you don't have the excitement of the weight loss. You have more wiring in your brain for the anticipation of pleasure than the experience of it. So for a lot of people, the excitement of getting to their goal weight is much more motivating than the reality of being at their goal weight. Because when you're looking forward to the goal, this is literally what I just talked about, the weight loss fairy tale. When you're not at your goal weight and you're aiming at it, and especially when you're still, 80% of the way there, or 88, you're 20% of the way there, you still have a long way to go. What happens in your mind is you can make this amazing fairy tale reality where once I lose the weight, everything, oh my God, this is going to get better. I'm going to do this. This is going to be better. Everything's going to be better. And as we start to get closer and closer to that goal weight, it starts to become more obvious that a lot of those fairy tale things we were thinking are not true. And that has, again, that double effect on us where it starts to reduce our motivation because now we're like, I hate my job. I still feel tired. I still fight with my partner, whatever it may be. Not to demotivate you all, but I'm here at my goal weight for 30 years, here to tell you life still is a pain in the ass. I don't think about my goal weight like I do because I do this for a living, but my weight is just my weight now. Do you understand? And so now what fills in that extra space of worrying about my weight is worrying about this thing and that thing and that thing and this thing, you're always going to worry. You're always going to be annoyed and frustrated. You never hit a point where you just live in this bliss. Like, no, sorry. You're always in some constant state of pain, pleasure. And it's always relative. So you get to your goal weight and you're still going to stay in a state of pain, pleasure to some degree. You're welcome. Thanks a lot, Jim. I know it doesn't sound motivating, but it's true. And you have to acknowledge this, I think, or else you're just trying to live in a fairy tale world. So anyways, yeah, the remotivation, that's a big part of it. That's why part of Program Yourself Thin is really about living at your goal weight. So the goal is to get to your goal weight and then each and every day just keep getting better and better and better and better. And the reason we do that is because you always have something to look forward to. because looking forward to something is literally the juice that drives the whole engine. It's the thing that motivates you. And most people with their goal weight, it's just like this fucking flat line of just getting to a goal weight. And the flat line is the perfect metaphor because you just think you're going to hit this. Now I can't eat the food. Now I'm on the weight loss to look forward to. Well, how are you getting your kicks? What are you doing? Oh, my life's just amazing now. Well, why? Anyways. Embarrassed says, great weekend to check back in with you. Easter eggs everywhere. Do you do that in the USA too? Yeah. Easter is a big, all the holidays are big candy holidays. Notice that? You notice that all the holidays are big candy food holidays? Interesting, right? So, yeah, Easter's not a huge one for me personally, but not anymore anyways. It was with the kids. But yeah, for a lot of people, if you got kids around, if you're, whatever religion you may be, yeah, all of a sudden there's eggs and chocolates and now chocolates. It's everything, right? I mean, it's just unlimited bullshit, Easter themed. And as soon as Easter's over, it'll be replaced with what? What's next? Oh, we already had St. Patrick's Day. Oh shit. Are we going to the biggest chunk of time between holidays? Because right after Easter, what's next? 4th of July? That might be the biggest period of time, it seems like. There must be some. There's Mother's Day, Father's Day, some probably other stuff I'm forgetting. Yeah, but it's a good time to check in with me because, yeah, get yourself refocused. So you're ready to deal with them Easter eggs. What's up, Katie? See you there. Oh, and one other thing, gentle monsters, you never need to lose last 15 pounds. You never, ever need to lose any weight, folks. Just so you know. You never need to lose weight. Not even never. There's not even one single situation where you need to do it. Doesn't even exist. Not possible. So that word need is really messing up your head. And I would replace need with want to. Excited to. Yeah. Thanks for the advice. I've done it over 1.5 years. Okay, great, gentle monster. That's a huge piece of the puzzle. So the fact that you've done this over 1.5 years is wonderful. Congratulations. But I think it also reinforces what I'm talking about. So you've been on this 1.5 year journey where you've had this focus and you know what to do and you know how to do it. And a lot of times, in addition to the people trading the pleasure and the excitement of the food for the pleasure and excitement, the scale going down is also the bigger issue. That what happens is you got an overweight mindset. Most dieters have an overweight mindset. Like when you're not focusing on your food, exercise, and calories, and you're just living your life, you're overweight. The way that you eat, live your life, you're overweight, and you just do it naturally. Okay. That's your natural mindset. That's the mindset you all have. If you're overweight, you have an overweight mindset. Okay. And then you have a diet. It's not really a mindset though. Dieting is really an anti-mindset. It's not a mindset in of itself. And so what that means is the anti-mindset means that you basically just keep saying no to your regular mindset. So you got your overweight mindset that runs automatically and naturally. And then you go on a diet and you say, nope, 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 nope. And you nope yourself right down to your goal weight. But the same problem exists that you still only have an overweight mindset. You understand? And so you've dieted and noped yourself down to your goal weight, but you still have an overweight mindset. And as you get close to that goal weight, sometimes that can start dawning on you. It can be terrifying because what are you worried about? What are most people worried about when they start getting close to their goal weight? Putting the weight back on. And this is because the diet industry has conditioned you to, again, to have this anti-mindset where you nope yourself down to your goal weight at best, but never, ever, never, ever in the process, ever do you learn how to create a thin and healthy mindset. You never learn how to think like a thin, healthy person. You never learn how to live like a thin and healthy person. And honestly, you never learn how to eat like a thin and healthy person. You learn how to eat like a dieter who's going to lose weight. And they're completely different, even though you you may think they're the same thing. They're not. They're totally different. And so, as you get close to your goal weight, ironically, it can be terrifying because you start realizing, I don't know if I'm going to be able to maintain this. And so you got diet mode, overweight mode, and you don't know how to maintain mode. And that's what Program Yourself Thin does. It shows you how to create a thin, healthy mindset so that, again, the big difference, diets and weight loss, the goal is to lose weight, to get to your goal weight. Program Yourself Thin and weight mastery is the focus is on living at your goal weight for the rest of your life on your autopilot. And those are two completely different goals. And this is one of the reasons why 95% of people that lose weight on a diet put it back on. So I don't say that to depress you. I say it to let you know that dieting at best is good for losing weight. And it is absolutely, it's literally harmful, but it's completely unhelpful for staying at your goal weight. So they're two totally different things. Okay, so that fairy tale sounds familiar. You're an inspiration, Katie. I was thinking about that. I was literally thinking that last night. I was driving somewhere and I was thinking about that conversation. And yeah, here it is today, the fairy tale. Gentle Monster makes sense. Absolutely agree. Well, I'm glad for you, Gentle Monster, because, with all that work and effort you put in, the good news is like you're in a great position, but you need to change gears. You need to shift from weight loss mode to maintenance mode. I know that sounds strange. You feel like you're not at your goal weight, but that's another thing I see, people's weight loss stalling out because subconsciously they stall their weight loss out because they're terrified to actually get to their goal weight because they know they got overweight mode or diet mode. And they're scared to death to get out of diet mode. So, Gentle Monster, make sure out of everyone here, please, you go to my bio, click the link, get the hypnosis session, and watch the video I made. You put so much effort and work in here. Don't fuck it up. And I mean this. Your situation, you are literally the core reason I still am here every day. I swear this. My number one reason for being here every day, this is a mission of mine. I started to realize, I say, I can actually help people lose weight without being here every day. But my main motivation is people that have lost a lot of weight and are right there now, or lost a lot of weight and put the weight back on. And the mental anguish and torture that creates in a human is unacceptable to me. And I can't take it. I can't take someone that puts that much effort and work into something and then it all goes away. Only because they never learned how to actually maintain their success. You've never learned how to think like a thin, healthy person, folks. You've never learned how to live and eat like a thin, healthy person. And so while you think it all comes down to your willpower, it doesn't. Because here's Gentle Monster who's lost 50 pounds over a year and a half. How much more fucking motivation and willpower and focus and ability do you need? They've succeeded. But that's not what keeps you at your goal weight. Unfortunately, what keeps you at your goal weight is your mindset. And you've never learned how to have a thin and healthy mindset. So you've got to learn something here. And if you do not learn it, again, you have a huge 95 to 98% chance that you're going to put all the weight back on. And so I say that with total love in my heart. I'm not saying that to be a jerk. I'm saying it because, come on, we see it over and over again. And we've got to focus on what really matters, it's not the weight loss piece. It's the keeping it off piece, folks. You've all lost weight before, but you haven't been able to keep it off. And you think it's because your willpower, and it's not. Melancholy says, I want to change my life. Weight is only one part of it. I feel stuck, but it's a feeling, not reality. Changing my reality feels out of reach right now. I do want it though. Yeah, I get it. I mean, a lot of people feel that way. And again, if you don't ever learn how to influence your mindset, I don't know, what chance do you got? I don't know. Do you all think your mindset matters? Don't you think the way you think about shit constantly in the background? Don't you think that matters? Don't you think the beliefs you have about yourself and how you lose weight matter to your weight? So again, to me, mindset is the most crucial, important piece of weight mastery. And it's the thing that's never taught. There's not even a single program out there teaching you how to create the mindset of a thin, healthy person. I've never seen it. So. What's up, Kelly? Kelly says, realized after yesterday's class that a common question I ask is, why am I not losing weight? But I am losing weight, just in the 2 steps forward, 1 step back way. Like my brain won't accept that as truth. Agreed, Kelly. Congratulations. That's a huge thing to realize. That's exactly what I mean. That's another thing. I literally just started to work on another section I've added to the program to address this. What I've really come to realize is that people that are successful, they've lost 50 pounds. They've lost a bunch of weight. They're actively losing weight. And then they'll get into moods where they're like, fuck, this isn't working. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But our brain can make it feel like it's not. It can trick us. It can literally make us see illusions of failure. We're succeeding and we think and feel like we're failing though. That's so common. And if that's how your brain's going to work, you're fucked. Like, what are you going to do? If you live in a world that you're wearing glasses that makes everything black look white, you live in a reverse world, bizarro world. And that's how a lot of you are thinking. So there's a lot to it. But that's a great realization, Kelly. Super happy you realized that. What's up, Gail? Gail says, how do we learn that mindset? How do you learn a thin and healthy mindset? I mean, I'll tell you my take on it. I think you've got to go to weight mastery college. That's how I think of Program Yourself Thin. I think you need to learn how to, I mean, the mindset and Program Yourself Thin is 6 sections. Okay. So specifically, I take you through the blueprint of how to motivate yourself. Do you know how to motivate yourself? Like really motivate yourself at a high level? Do you know how to do it? Or do you just sometimes get motivated and sometimes it fades away? You have no influence or control over it. And I know that's your reality. So the first thing for the thin and healthy mindset is you need to know how to motivate yourself at a very high level. And you have no idea how to do that. That's one of the things I'll help you do. The next thing is you need to start working on creating the self-image and identity of a thin, healthy person. If you're struggling with your weight, you probably have the identity and self-image of an overweight, unhealthy person. So we got to change that. The next thing is habits. Do you know how to influence your habits? Like, do you really know how to influence your habits? Like neuroscience of habits, how to structurally, strategically change your habits? Or are you just winging it and trying to fight against them? That's the third piece. The next one's emotions. Do you know how to feel the emotions you want? Deal with the shitty emotions you don't want to feel without food? Probably not. So got to learn that. How to think like a thin, healthy person. That's what Kelly was referring to the lesson we went through yesterday. Do you know the literal thoughts, the questions you ask yourself, the language you use? Do you know how to think like a thin, healthy person? And you don't. You've been conditioned your whole life to think like an overweight person. And then finally is maintenance. Do you know how to maintain? And not maintain your goal weight. Do you know how to fucking maintain from day 1 to day 2? Yeah, Gail says no to all of these. Exactly. So if you can't do any of these, how the fuck would you ever lose weight and keep it off? Talk about fairy tales. I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's like, how would you possibly create this dramatic change in your quality of life if you don't know how to motivate yourself? You don't even know about your self-image or how to change it. You have no idea how to strategically work on your habits. You have no idea how to manage your emotions without food. You have no idea how to think like a thin, healthy person. You've never even been around a thin, healthy person, how they think, and you have no idea how to maintain your focus and your path. If you don't know these things, what are you doing? You don't know any of these things. And so what you're trying to do is just rely on willpower. Oh, fuck you, Jim. I don't need any of that stupid shit. I'm just going to make myself do the right thing. Okay. Well, if you could do that, why haven't you done it so far? What's the difference between that magical Monday, right? So a lot of you are getting ready to start on Monday, right? It's the day after Easter. Probably the biggest day of the year. People think January 1st, but I would bet that the Monday after Easter, I bet is a bigger day of people starting their diets. So for all of you that are going to start your diet on Monday, what the fuck is different coming Monday than right now in you? What ability are you going to have on Monday that you do not have now? And that is a great question to ask to help reveal the mental bullshit you tell yourself. What? Because you think, could you open up Monday and now you got sugar coursing through your vein and you stuffed yourself silly the day before and maybe you drank a bunch of alcohol, slept like shit, wake up tired, and now you're ready to rock your keto plan? Now you're ready to start your intermittent fasting? Yeah, let me know how it goes because I'll be here. Let me know how it goes Monday. Let me know how it's going Tuesday. Again, I'm not trying to be obnoxious. I'm just trying to point out the ridiculousness of the diet mindset. It's just silly. It's childish. It just is. I'm not calling you a child. I'm calling the mindset a childlike mindset. I'll take it personally. What's up, Laura? Laura, the big question. All right, hold on. Hi, from my experience after losing 5 or 10 pounds, we are in there and feeling pretty good. I was really sick and tired of that. I wanted to feel superior in my body or optimal as much as possible. So I realized once I hit a 20-pound weight loss, I felt serious change and a shift in how I felt mentally, profoundly, physically. I think it takes like a 20-pound to 30-pound loss for real profound change to actually be felt. But once you get there, it's absolutely amazing. And that feeling is totally addicting and you want more of that. So the healthy way is the only way. And it's not even a question you desire and want to, and you have no problem with that. This is kind of where I'm at now. I wanted to share that more people should strive to get to at least a 20-pound weight loss because the difference is amazing between 10 and 20 pounds. Yeah, don't disagree with that at all. However, and it sounds like you got a great mindset, Laura. So I agree with a lot of what you're saying there. But I do think too, like what feels amazing. I think a lot of people put so much emphasis on the number on the scale. And I think that a big part of motivation is realizing that the number on the scale isn't enough. So if you start paying attention to all the other benefits you get out of the weight loss, physical, mental, emotional benefits, and when you understand them in detail, I think you set yourself up to realize there's a lot more at stake and there's a lot more benefits you get to experience. I think a lot of people shut off their awareness of all the wonderful things that happen. I was saying, it reminds me, and Bruce Lee's got a movie, in Enter the Dragon. He's talking to a kung fu student of his, and he goes, it's like a finger pointing to the stars. He goes, don't pay attention to the finger or you will miss all the heavenly glory. And I think that's like the weight to me. It's like you get so fixated and focused on the number that you miss all the heavenly glory of transforming your eating, your lifestyle, your body, and your weight. And you make it just about a fucking disassociated number that at the end of the day, the number doesn't even mean shit to you. I know you think it does, and you've attached meaning to it in a sense. It's become a conditioned response, but it doesn't have intrinsic value to you. Your weight doesn't have any intrinsic value to you. I always use this example that if I said, never mind weighing yourself in pounds, from now on, we're going to use square inches of skin on your body. That's the new measurement we use. And I say the number we're shooting for is 28 square inches. That's ideal. You notice how that means nothing to you? Well, your weight, the pounds, means nothing to you. The kilograms means nothing to you subconsciously. What means stuff to you is having energy, having focus, feeling happy, feeling successful, being nourished. These things matter to you on a deep level. So if you make this process more about those things, you're going to tap into a lot more natural motivation. And says, keep track of your food when close to goal weight to see where the food tweaks need to happen. You naturally do need less food than when you started. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's absolutely true as well. That, yes, your metabolism does kick down a little bit. But I find, and that is a component to it, but I do find that there's a lot of more, my experience has been that as people approach to their goal weight, there's a lot of psychology that starts kicking in. And, you're not going to believe this, folks, but you know, there's a saying that people prefer a known hell to an unknown heaven. And so I know you all don't like being overweight, but at the same time, the subconscious association you probably have to being at your goal weight is probably fear and anxiety because it's a new thing. And our subconscious minds are scared of new things, nervous by them. So on some level, you probably have a lot of fear and anxiety attached to your goal weight as well. And the fear of not dieting anymore, because most dieters out there know that they can diet or they can be overweight. Unless you've lived at your goal weight for a long period of time and you're referencing that, are you? Is that what you're referencing? You referencing the time when you lived at your goal weight for a long time and how easy and comfortable it was, and you're looking to relive that every day and tweak and optimize it to where you're at now? Is that what you're doing? I know it's not. So, yeah. It's a fascinating topic, though. Should be. I talk about it every day, all day long. Laura says, yes, this is so true. And thank you. You're welcome, Laura. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate writing all that out. So Gail says, so what do I do? How do I get your program? Go to, before you get my program, you can go to programyourselfthin.com and I'll actually put it right in the thing. I'm going to show you. Go to programyourselfthin.com and then you can click to the free hypnosis session, or you can go to programyourselfthin.com/hypno. And what that is, I'm going to put this right into the little Instagram thing. There you go. Just click. Oh, that didn't even show up. There it is. You can just click that. Oh, there I'm frozen on Instagram. Oh, no, I'm not. Stop moving for a minute there. That was weird. Anyways, so go there, get the free hypnosis session and watch the video I made. And then I'll tell you about the program. And if it's a good fit, go ahead and sign up for it. It's the best weight mastery program on the planet. Maybe the only weight mastery program. I do see one person that touts their hypnosis program as a weight mastery program, but I have looked at that program and no, it's nowhere close to mine, but that's okay. The more people think in terms of weight mastery, the better, in my opinion. So, but there's no question that my program is the best weight mastery program. Nothing even comes close to it. So, but go check out the free stuff first. Memorial Day, right? He says, if someone is struggling with pleasure days, would slowly adding pleasure meals be a good idea instead of 2 days of pleasure days? Oh, yeah, absolutely, D. Yeah. I would definitely, especially for you, D, because you're kind of struggling with the pleasure days. So just cut it down to 1 day. Okay, let's make this simpler. If you're just thriving through the clean days. Okay. So meaning if you just make 1 pleasure day and you make 6 clean days, if that feels fine for you, go ahead. But notice if there's any pressure to want to have another clean day. I mean, another pleasure day. But if you're fine just having 6 clean days and that's just fine, easy work for you, then go ahead. And then you can take that energy and work to optimize your pleasure days. So I think that's a fine way. But again, if we up level to what I'm saying to you, D, it's always about looking at what you've done, what's worked, what hasn't, tweaking and adjusting it. Okay. Yep, that's what Katie's done. Yeah, that's working. Yeah. So again, whether it works or not either is almost irrelevant. It's more important just to just try it. Let's just see, try something different, find out. It works, doesn't work, whatever. Okay. Snack Nicholson. That's a good one. I'm a 32-year-old guy, gained 130 pounds in a year, almost all in my gut, 68 inches around. Where to start? Well, Snack, is that a picture of your gut? Is that your profile picture? I would say my first response is it seems not quite genuine, but I'm going to take you at your word. Okay. And what I would ask first is, what happened the year, right? What happened right before you start putting that weight on? Something triggers. We don't put 130 pounds on out of nowhere in a year. So anytime, if that was real, that you did put 130 pounds on in a year, the first thing I want to know is what happened a year ago. Samantha says, you've helped me a lot, so thank you. I weighed myself in October and now I have lost fat. I'm scared to weigh myself though. How do I overcome that fear? Yeah, I mean, the scale fear is a real thing, and overcoming it, I think, is an important piece of weight mastery for sure. But great job, first of all. Okay, you lost fat. Yeah, the fear of weighing yourself. I think, to me, it's like I always look at it like, I don't even like Schrodinger's cat. If you ever heard that philosophical experiment, long story short, it's just basically there's a box with a cat in it. Is it alive or dead? Well, we don't know until we look in it, right? So before we look at it, though, it's pure potentiality. It's alive and dead, right? And once we open the box, then it's one or the other. So I think it's like Schrodinger's scale, that a lot of times, we've done well, we lost some weight, we know that, but we're scared to step on the scale because we don't want that specific number. And it's like, it's nice to think we lost more weight, and so it's nice to live in the fantasy than the reality. It's always going to feel that way. It's always more comfortable to live in fantasy, I think, pretty much until reality intrudes. But I think it's just becomes a fundamental decision that I want to live in reality. The more based and grounded I am in reality, the more I can create the results I want. So I think that's where I would go at that with, is that I want to look at the numbers. I want to know the facts, and I want to manipulate the facts and everything else until it goes where I want it to go. I don't want to live in fantasy land where I'm just imagining a reality that's not real. I don't want to do that. Even though I do that a lot, but I do it in an intentional way. I will imagine myself as the person I want to be. I will act as if I'm the person who I want to be. So in that sense, I'm regularly living in imagination and fantasy, but it's all grounded and rooted in reality. So I will look at the real numbers of reality while I allow my mind to go up to where I want to be. So that's my thoughts on that. IDEX says, what are the questions do we ask ourselves? I mean, it's different for each person, but if you're referring to what Kelly was saying, we were going through how to think like a thin and healthy person yesterday. And part of that was talking about most of you have really negative questions in your mind that are focusing you on the problems of your life. And for example, uh, with your weight, you may be asking questions like, why is weight loss so hard? How come I can't lose the weight? How come no matter what I do, my body doesn't lose weight? Um, why do I eat so shitty? Whatever. And so you're focused on the problem and you're trying to figure it out. But what that's doing to you subconsciously is creating more of the problem because your subconscious mind does not understand negatives. And so again, if I tell you don't think about a banana, don't think about a banana, you're thinking about a banana. So your obsession on trying to figure out your problem, ironically, is just reinforcing it and promoting it more. Because while you are trying to not think about that banana, you just keep thinking about the banana, but replace banana with your weight. So anyways, Zamboni down 20 pounds now. Comes Easter. I don't need alcohol. How do I handle the traditional food we enjoying? Well, I mean, listen, the way I look at like Easter holiday vacation modes, it's kind of like I refer to as the 80-20 rule, where with Program Yourself, then we're really focusing most of our energy on the 80% of our eating, the habitual, repetitive, day-to-day eating that we do, week to week, all the rest of it. The outlier shit like holidays, Christmas, Easter, all the rest of it, that one day is not affecting your weight. I'm here to tell you. The one day itself's not affecting your weight. However, if you go into that day and you eat and drink and do a bunch of bullshit, and then you get into a mindset, oh, I blew it. Well, then it's going to affect everything. But technically, if you Easter go nuts, eat all the chocolate eggs, eat all the, I don't know, what do people eat for Easter? Hams? Easter ham? I only know Easter. I always use, like, we usually do like Easter brunch. So I don't really have a sense of what Easter, when I was growing up, I was Greek, and Easter was the big Greek holiday. We would go at night. It was pretty fun. We would kind of fast from meat all week and then have a giant lamb dinner at like midnight on Saturday. You go to church at midnight and walk. It was cool. It was pretty cool. But anyways, yeah, the big lamb dinner. But now I don't even know what people eat for Easter. But I know there's lots of candy. There's always candy. All the holidays are candy holidays. But if you can see it for what it is, it's really just one day. And if you can let yourself know, oh, yeah, I'm going to do what I want to do. In Program Yourself, then I was talking about minimize the damage mode. So it's like, yeah, you might drink more, you might eat more bullshit, you might eat more food than you normally do. But we try and stay in the sweet spot. We're not trying to diet. We're not trying to skip it, because then that makes you feel miserable. But at the same time, we don't go too far overboard either. That makes us feel miserable too. So we're looking for the sweet spot where we give ourselves quite a bit more leash. We got to eat what we want, drink what we want within some reason, and realize it's just one day, and then put our focus and energy on to getting right back on track Monday. I like to say, just like to say, it's not the crime, it's the cover up. It's not the binge, it's the what you do afterwards. So again, if you can realize that Easter is just one day, and if you're able to get back on track quickly, it won't make any difference in your weight at all. One day of overeating will have as much different effect on your weight as one day of undereating and dieting, which is zero. It's going to have zero effect on it. So let yourself enjoy the day and then just focus on getting back on track. And I think that's the strat I would rely on. Katie likes the as if. Yeah. It's manifestation-ish. Yeah. Again, I like manifestation stuff. I think that I enjoy it, but I look at it as like one little thing. It's not, I don't think it's a system in and of itself, but I think of it as an explanation of, I think of it neuroscientifically. And, like if you go to the gym, what are you doing? You're lifting weights and you're building muscle. You're literally building muscle by doing that. And, when you imagine yourself as the person you want to be, you're building neural muscles, not exactly muscles, but they are connections, and those connections get stronger, and there's multiples of them that turn into circuits turn into networks. Next thing you know, you've got the neural circuitry and networks of the person you want to be. So how do you create those? I'll just do those things. No, I don't think so. So yeah, I do like that piece too. Jen says, enjoy the day. If you don't, you'll eventually feel resentful about it. As long as it's one day, it won't affect anything. Yeah, back to the Easter thing. Exactly. Yeah, that's the word too. Yeah, you'll feel resentful. If you try and diet through Easter, you'll feel resentful. So enjoy the day. Again, affect it so you're somewhat moderate. Don't go bananas, But, take it a little bit easy, but let yourself eat the shit you want to eat and then work to get back on track the next day. Ham's gross. I'm making a brisket. All right. Brisket. I don't know. I didn't know that. Brisket, Easter brisket. I've never heard that before, but there you go. I don't know what people eat for Easter. My last Easter meals have been much more brunch. I haven't had a brunch in a while. I'm going to do a brunch soon. Make my famous potatoes. I love brunch. So, yeah. All right. Very good. Got all the questions answered. I'm out of here. So, if you're not in my world, go click the link in my bio. Go get the hypnosis session. Watch the video. Read the emails I send you. I'm not going to say it. The goal weight training is coming. That's all coming. This is live every day. So if you have any questions, anything you want to ask, pop on here. I'm here at noon, 12 noon Eastern every day. Well, every Monday through Friday, every weekday. So I'll be here tomorrow at 12 noon on the dot. And there we go. All right, everyone, have a super duper day, and we will talk soon. Bye.